want to welcome you guys to stream. We've got some pretty fun stuff that we're doing today. We're going to be going over a little bit more on the Mizkif drama. If you guys watched the last stream VOD here on Kick, we went over kind of just an overview of the Emiru and Mizkif drama. Going to jump into a little bit of that, react to a new video from a very good channel. Personally, a channel that I like a lot, more Pegasus. We're going to react to his video on the updates to the Mizkif Emiru drama. Get into a little bit of that. And then after we're done with that, I will be jumping into a new game for stream. This is going to be a fun one. I'm going to keep it a surprise. I've got a little fun surprise for you guys when we get back. Once we finish this video here. If you guys are tuning into this video as it goes up on YouTube, feel free to like, comment, subscribe. Comment down below what you think about this Emiru Mizkif drama. And then feel free to follow me on X at tcullyii. What we can do there is just that way you can know when I'm going live, when I'm posting new videos, and follow me there. So, welcome. Hope everyone's having a good evening. Or good morning, wherever you are, whenever you're watching. So we're gonna get in. I know that a lot of the live stream world, especially chat, has been really interested in this kind of stuff. I want to be able to kind of give my takes on it as a no-name streamer, someone who's new coming into this. Like I said in the last VOD, I've been watching streams. I've been involved with a couple other streamers' content creation, and this is one of these situations where it's both people that I watched in 2020. I watched during COVID when everybody was locked down, and to see these developments is quite interesting. So let's go ahead. We will jump over here. I've got our video player pulled up. One more time, this is more Pegasus video. So if you're watching this, you want to be able to go support him. He's putting in work in the drama world right now. I would even put him, on par with Keemstar, Drama Alert, all that kind of stuff, with the rate that he puts stuff out at. And again, with a lot of this drama kind of stuff, it's one of those things where it's like, if you're not a bad person, you'll have a good take. It's not that hard. It's not that hard. But again, go support more Pegasus. Check out his other content. But let's jump into this here. And we'll get right into it.
Welcome back to a series so zaptastic. Even Reggie Aliki subscribed. In today's video, Hassan is now supporting the USSR, saying that it's unfortunate that the USA defeated them. He's still crying about sloptubers, aka me, during an election party. He's pretending to be the common man, saying he's fighting for the working class, with his billionaire dad, of course. He got absolutely humiliated when he found out that they did not have a seat reserved for him at the party. He's talking about grandmas and his dick now? 35-year-old man, by the way. He's claiming he's definitely not...
We also, I guess, I mean, more Pegasus always talks about Hassan as well. Hassan Piker is, or like, you know what? Just play the Sam Hyde clip. Play the Sam Hyde clip right now, okay? Cool, thank you.
Anti-Semitic. Sneeko has responded, being equally brain dead. Massive updates to the Emiru situation.
And that's why we're here right now.
Mizkif officially suing Asmongold and Emiru, and a bunch of more updates.
Now, when in that last stream reaction, when we looked over that 9-minute video from, I think it was Just Wade, and he, I mentioned that, I was like, oh, there's going to be a lawsuit coming. I did not expect it to come from Mizkif of all people, especially since he kind of laid everything out. But let's jump into it. Let's hear more.
Or your kid turns into Hassan Piker. You're cooked.
Let's up those numbers!
Right, so the New York City mayor has been elected as Zoran Mamdani. Now, Hassan went to the election party and managed to embarrass himself in 100 different ways. Let's start with this one here, where Hassan is showing his real patriotism and supporting the USSR, the Soviet Union, over the USA. Bro's actually just an op. This is the country that defeated the USSR, unfortunately, Hassan.
They're done.
What do you think it means that this guy ran as a socialist and anti-communism didn't work to stop him? That's biz.
Yeah, I think we are in the heart of the imperial core. This is the country that defeated the USSR, unfortunately. And the reality of the matter is, there's a lot of antagonism. There's no class consciousness in the United States of America. It's one of the things that I try to address every day with my commentary.
Why does he
And I will say
sound so
this.
nasally in this clip?
The conditions have deteriorated so much that everyday Americans, in spite of their lack of class consciousness, are finally arriving at the conclusion that perhaps there is an alternative out there. There is an alternative that focuses on them as opposed to the interests of the billionaires and the millionaires, as opposed to the interests of the capital owners.
Isn't he a millionaire?
I mean, you can't
Chat,
help but notice that.
correct me on
you
this.
can't help but feel
Yeah?
at least a little bit
Yeah,
of
that's what I
excitement
thought.
around that.
A little bit of hypocritical.
Right. Dude, you cannot convince me that Hassan is not a foreign operative, like an undercover agent sent to destroy America, because what the heck is that? Unfortunately, are you kidding me, dude? As we all know, the USSR is just the most moral thing ever. No oppression at all, actually. Just
None.
a communist
None at all.
utopia.
Never.
Something Hassan is actually
No.
fighting to bring back to the
No.
US, it seems. Listen, I'm no history expert, but wasn't the USSR literally a totalitarian state? Like, literally led to the deaths of millions, human rights abuse, zero political dissent allowed, mass arrests, executions, literal labor camps, you know, the
20 million, I think, is the approximate number in the USSR of those disappearing peoples. That's crazy that he's going to go ahead and say that's the country I want to emulate.
the gulag. So I don't know. Of course, Hassan would support all of that, right? Just delusional. Now, he also said that it's one of the things I address every day with my commentary, like class consciousness and all of that. What is this commentary? Hezbollah is my favorite flag, guys. You know, the terrorist flag with the AK-47 in the flag? Yeah, that's the one I like, actually.
Overall, what my
Yeah.
favorite flag?
Yeah.
Hezbollah.
Oh.
So he's also saying that people are recognizing an alternative that focuses
Also, I don't know if you guys know the reference of that clip. I've seen that a couple of times. And if you're going to pick a flag that's got like some badass, you know, some weight to it. Again, I'm not going to pick a terroristic flag. Go back, look in history, look at some of the fucking coat of arms that like were developed in the 14 and 1500s as, you know, more families, both merchant class as well as nobles, were kind of developing into more, you know, official houses with official colors and things like that. There are some amazing crests out there that you could use, but I would not say that, again, talking about countries, and especially when he's on a stream, that, you know, the obvious answer in that situation is him to just say whatever LGBTQ plus ideology flag that he likes the most based on the colors, but no, he had to go ahead and do that.
on the common man as opposed to billionaires and millionaires. Now, who would that be? You, Hassan. That's you. You're the Nepo baby. Your dad's a billionaire. Your mom's a landlord. Your uncle's a multimillionaire. You yourself are a multimillionaire.
I remember
it's
Chank
crazy. He's just talking
Yeager
about himself.
and
He's like, "We need to take these
when
millionaires
he brought
down.
on Hassan
Tax the
back on
rich,
the
make
Young
the
Turks.
rich
It was
pay."
like
Yeah, let's start
early
with you, buddy. Holy shit.
2010s.
Who responded? Why
Absolutely
does he look
crazy.
like Anthony Fantano? They are at a Hannah Montana
Just the
watch
evolution
party.
of this
Like,
guy
I feel like
to
even
a
if you're
Twitch
for
streamer.
communism, the USSR was bad. I can't imagine
hard to
how
believe.
killing 20 million of your own people
Hard to
is
believe.
ever considered the better option between that and the USA. No, this is Hassan's entire playbook. Anytime there's any conflict, he has to be against America, right? He just hates America with all his soul, and basically he will support the most deranged lunatics in the entire world as long as it means that he's against America. Whether it be literal terrorists, scum of the earth, right? He will still support them over anything to do with the US, right? Which is why he said America deserved 9/11. He's just a psychopath. Look, I'm not gonna say that America is squeaky clean, obviously not, but it's only ever the stupidest people who say America bad, everyone else good. Funny that Hassan has said this near verbatim, and yet people still try to convince me he's an intelligent guy who represents progressive politics. Bro, he was just defending North Korea. Like, this guy's just another level, bro. It's funny because Stalin killed 20+ million people. It's actually funny to Hassan.
Everyone talks about the right-wing grift, and you don't realize how many people are actually doing a left-wing grift. Not saying Hassan is doing a left-wing grift, but still, there's a lot of people that will just echo a popular talking point in order to boost themselves.
And he's probably laughing at this.
But isn't that what we're all doing here? Ain't that right, chat? Huh? Yeah.
He probably finds like old videos, plays them on repeat, and laughs like a fucking psychotic crazy. They were probably Zionists, yes, they were pro-Israel guys. They deserve to die, obviously. Imperial Core. The USSR invaded and subjugated Finland, Romania, Latvia, Lithuania, Estonia, Poland, Hungary, and it goes on. Practically every single country around them, which is impressive given it only existed for 69 years. That's not even counting numerous military invasions and conflicts around the world and the various genocides. Somebody who cares about genocides here loves the USSR, seems like. Everything West bad, everything anti-West virtuous tankies are a plague on society and represent the largest number of genocide deniers, second only to neo-Nazis. And this just proves that Hassan's entire mode of operation, all that virtue signaling about caring about Israel-Palestine and the genocide going on, was complete bullshit. Complete bullshit. Because he doesn't care about other situations around the world. He doesn't care about the Russia-Ukraine conflict or anything like that. It's because it's only things that suit his agenda. Right, so then Ethan calls out Hassan. Does anyone actually miss the USSR other than the most privileged Nepo babies? Lamenting the fall of the USSR as a millionaire from LA is a luxury belief. It feels good to say. Just don't ask any of the countries that broke off how they feel about the USSR or anyone that lived there. Bro would be mining coal in a gulag if he was put in the USSR. That's the thing, he has like no idea. How is this guy a political commentator? Bro has no knowledge of the world at all. Millions died under Stalin, not that the dog shocker cares or knows history. All he knows is zapping his dog. He's literally the modern day Stalin to his dog. Kaya's in the gulag right now. Moving on to Hassan taking the special moment of...
And I will say the Hassan dog shocking meme is going to be probably one of the longest lasting jokes that's going to be relatable on the internet for the next probably 5 or 10 years. You're going to have people calling back to this like Leroy Jenkins in World of Warcraft 20 years ago. It's going to be one of those kinds of just funky internet things that everyone's going to hang on to.
His favorite candidate winning the NYC mayoral election to cry about slop tubers. Hassan calls out the haters and slop tubers. Of course he does.
Getting to take part in it. You're getting to be here. Many of you probably also door knock, you canvas, and this is the fruits of your labor. It's me, the dipshit, the asshole drinking alcoholic beverages. Oh my god. All the fucking haters don't like it suck my dick too. Oh my god. All the fucking slop tubers.
So you're telling me bro is supposed to be enjoying the election party, but is crying about slop tubers on his special day. Obviously talking about me here, but he's never gonna mention my name. It's too scary. I'm the boogeyman. Just in case one person from his audience checks out my channel and realizes that Hassan is a complete fraud and everything, he is terrified of that prospect. And he's gonna lose more of his 57-month subscribers, right? And the fact, like, he's pushing 35 now, and he's still like this, dude. It's sad. All anyone wants the guy to do is to...
And that's how I feel. That's the... Pegasus puts it fairly well. They're almost 35. You know, a lot of this streamer drama that has happened in the last month, whether that's Cutie Cinderella, whether that's Valkyrie, whether that's Hassan, whether that's Mizkif, all these people, Mizkif I don't think is quite 30 yet, or if he is, he's pushing it. But the rest of them are 30, 29 or above. And the fact that you're still just acting like children in this way is something that's absolutely ridiculous. And of course, I'm mid-20s. I'm very middle 20s. And it's just one of those things that it's just like, I look at those people and I'm like, you started live streaming and the maturity just paused. And I hope with my journey, and chat should hopefully hold me accountable on this, right, guys? Yeah? Good. But what my thought is that, you know, I feel like I'm more mature for my age anyways, but you should be able to grow and just not live in this bubble where you're only you're only taking validation and you get your self-worth from your audience. Because I appreciate, any of you guys that are watching on YouTube, that any of you guys watching on Kick, and I'm happy to be able to bring you guys content, but by no means am I gonna let the praise you guys give me or the hate that you guys give me affect the way that I hold myself. Make sense? I think so.
Stop shocking his dog, stop inciting violence, and stop spreading terrorist propaganda. It's not a big ask. Actually, it is a big ask because that's all he does. Bro
That's his entire content stream. How's he gonna make money if he can't do that with those things?
In American history, he's got slop on his mind. Also, free Kaya forever. Now they shall be called shock tubers. I would not mind being called a shock tuber. Moving on to someone actually asking Hassan if he regrets any of the things he said. An opportunity to take accountability and apologize. Hassan answers if he feels any regret or liability for his past comments. And they might be referring to the America Deserved 9/11 comment or stuff like that, because this is in reference to New York
Or the Rick
City.
Scott comment.
Seized on your comments a lot during your Twitch stream. You end any of your jokes that paid a liability for the campaign and all? Do I regret things that I said? Yeah, like any of the... I regret things that I say, and I regret things that I will say in the future as well. I'm a human being, and I'm a Twitch streamer. I'm not a serious political operative by any metric. If Andrew Cuomo decides to present me as some sort of kingmaker, well, he's wrong. I'm just a regular-ass dude. But that's probably the reason why I have 70,000 people watching right now, because people want to hear from regular-ass dudes as opposed to more buttoned-up commentary folk that don't actually represent the interests of everyday citizens.
Yeah, way to take no accountability whatsoever.
None.
Basically saying that, hey,
None.
I'm a person and I make mistakes, guys. Like, just a non-apology, basically. Also, for the love of God, can you stop with this whole act of, I'm just like you guys, just ignore my billionaire dad.
Yeah.
I'm the common man.
Nepotism.
Absolute freaking
Rampant
loser, dude. You're
nepotism.
not a regular person. You're literally the elite. You keep saying that you're just a Twitch streamer, a regular dude, but then you also constantly cry when you're not taken seriously, and you want to desperately be seen as this respected political commentator, this socialist revolutionary changing the world. And because you couldn't actually achieve that, you're trying to use this reverse psychology strategy of, oh, I'm just so humble, guys. I'm just a regular dude. But also, here's my viewer count. Did I tell you that 70,000 people are watching right now, guys? It's so pathetic, dude. It is actually so pathetic. He's basically that guy at the party who goes, I have a rich dad, guys. Did you know I'm actually very rich? Yeah, he'll never learn, for example, that he's not a serious political operative. Now he could just spam this line anytime he wants to be taken seriously.
Yep.
Hassan when criticize others. I'm the only educated person. Others are grifters. Hassan when holding accountability. I'm not a serious political operative. We got another case. Schrodinger streamer. He's only a streamer when it's actually necessary. Otherwise, he's a political commentator, It's like he always does this. He wants to play both sides of any situation. That way he can just, flip-flop whenever he needs to. Still obsessed with
Consistency
numbers.
is key, chat. Consistency is key.
He absolutely will. Moving on to Hassan getting absolutely humiliated. Apparently, they didn't reserve a seat for him because he's not considered a special or respected guest at the Zoran Mamdani election party. Hassan gets rejected entry to upstairs seating at the party.
I do not have you for the upstairs for this.
Okay.
Can I see your ticket tape?
Oh, I'm staff.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
Okay.
If you're
So we can't
escorted?
go upstairs.
I do not. But do you have this wristband? I can also just check.
Damn.
But I can double check and just make sure
Upstairs
on my
just
end.
more seating area.
Yeah, I just wanted a drink. I'm good.
Just so I can.
Or here.
What was your name? Sorry. Michael. Okay, great. Let me just make sure on my back channel.
We got no motion, chat. We got no motion.
We're washed.
Fell off. It's okay.
Stop whispering in the microphone, Marsh. They can hear you.
Are you guys streaming live?
Oh yeah, we are.
Okay.
But we're not showing anything yet. But there's 72,000 people watching.
Oh, great.
Currently.
Gotta flex on the security guard to try to
we're done.
to try and pepper your way in. Nah, Nah. But at the same time, I also heard that this guy, you know, I don't know much about the New York mayoral race, but I did hear that this guy's a socialist, but he was also then charging for, it was not an open bar at his celebration dinner, which, considering modern socialist values, you'd think that would go hand in hand, but I don't know.
We're washed.
We're washed.
Probably getting kicked out within the next 15 minutes.
Most likely. Most likely. We'll be escorted.
Dude, how many times does this scumbag actually mention his viewer count? I had to double check. I'm like, I swear I just heard that, but like, no, he's just mentioned it again. 70,000 people watching currently, actually. Also, it's not a video, it's a live stream.
He's trying to drop it around and see who's gonna give it a tug, and no one is having it.
You know, I'm VIP, guys. What an insufferable fucking douchebag. This is literally the guy who goes up to every single person and goes, look at me, here's my viewership, oh my god, it's so cool. Also, turns out you're not actually a VIP, Hassan. Apparently, Zoran, your best buddy, didn't actually reserve your seat. He obviously disavowed your comments about 9/11 before as well.
I find the comments that Hassan made on 9/11 to be objectionable and reprehensible. Minority in this country.
What was your name, sir? It's me, the illustrious Hassan Piker. How dare you? Kaya at home watching this from my son's monitor, know what is to come. Oh my god, bro. Right, so then Hassan gives a speech on how he's gonna support you if you actually support the working class, right? Translation, let's bring about literal communism, and then you'll get the support of me, the terrorist glazer. Hassan drops an open invitation to Democrats focused on the working class.
But hey, we'll be there. Our community will fucking be there every step of the way. And that is an invite to all the Democrats. If you actually put working class people and working class politics at the center of your campaign, and you want to advance an agenda that is overall good for the working class, I will be there with you. I will door knock for you. I will promote you. And I will make sure that you get your agenda across the finish line every step of the fucking way.
Okay, so he literally thinks that he's the one who solely got this guy elected. Now, he might have played a part,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure he'd be fine without you as well. Also, he actually thinks that
He would have been fine. It was just I mean, like, he got a bunch of. I'm pretty sure the dude got a bunch of endorsements. I don't think Hassan would have made that big of a difference. Also, considering that I'm sure out of the 72,000 people that are watching, I don't think more than 500 to 1,000 of them are in New York City that could actually participate in this race. So
his support is something people should strive for. You support terrorists, and that's apparently free of charge. I don't know if they're paying you or something. Okay, you can't obviously admit that or you'd be put in prison. But yeah, you just don't want the Hassan Piker endorsement. It's like the opposite of what you want, actually. And honestly, anyone who associates with this guy and supports him is seen in a bad light these days, right? And I don't know, I personally just doubt any candidate that's buddy-buddy with Hassan. If Hassan is so excited about this person, I really wonder what sort of policies they're bringing up. Also, I'm not American, and I don't live in America. As I said, I live in Singapore, so I don't really follow this stuff too closely, but isn't New York City already Democrat? So
yes,
I don't get why this is like a massive
it's already
deal.
Democrat.
Like,
it's been Democrat. I don't think they've had a Republican mayor since like Rudy Giuliani, but I even think Rudy Giuliani at that time was a Democrat.
Whatever, but I feel like he's acting like he just won the presidency or something. And it's like, it's not even him. It's like another guy. Like, you're still a Twitch streamer, buddy. Also, he might be particularly excited because this guy's like a socialist, communist type of guy or whatever. He's a millionaire and spends like a millionaire. He has
1994 to 2001, Rudy
people.
Giuliani was a
If you wanna
Republican
ruin your
mayor.
reputation by associating with the terrorist glazer and animal abuser, go ahead
Almost
and book
20
a
years
date.
ago.
Great idea.
I don't think they've had another one
I don't know why
since.
these people think that it's a good
Correct
idea
me
to
if I'm wrong
support
in the
someone like
comments.
Hassan. I mean, they might be equally crazy, and then that sort of makes sense. But if you're not, and you actually think it's a good idea to tap into this guy's fan base, man, that is going to backfire on you big time. Because these people will flip on you like this.
Yeah.
Also, they might
I mean,
assassinate you if you disagree.
That's also, I mean, that's a good point. But if you are not inside the streaming world, then you don't want streamer viewers to be supporting you one way or the other, because I mean, it's just the culture. The culture is to, jump between, have a bunch of crossovers, have a, create this community. And if you step out of the community, then, especially the way that Hassan and, a lot of other content creators create these echo chamber style communities. That's not something, if you're not in the echo chamber, you don't want to be a part of the echo chamber, if that makes sense.
1 inch. Moving on to Hassan talking about his dick. 35-year-old man, by the way. Hassan shouts out the grandmas and hopes they see his meat pics while searching his name on Google. Oh dear lord.
How many new followers have you gotten because of Andrew Cuomo?
I don't know, but all the grandparents that are furiously Googling Hassan Piker 9/11, I hope you saw all my meat pics. I posted it for you, Grandma.
He is drunk.
All the grandmas out there.
He is very drunk.
Grandma's for Hassan Piker, guys.
That's right.
Did this man just say, I hope the grandmas saw my meat pics? Buddy is so cringe, dude. The only
That's very
grandma
cringe.
interested in
It's
that
either a
is
bad
Taylor
take,
Lorenz and Jennifer
that's just a
Welch,
really
okay? They
bad
are
joke, or he is
furiously
drunk and a
Googling
really
your
bad
meat
joke.
pics right now. They're trying to verify the story for their
But just based on his
independent
speech there, it sounded like he
journalism,
was
obviously. How does nobody else see this is a
a
frat
few
bro
brewskis
LARPing as
in.
an activist for clout? This son of a bitch is so lame. What a freaking creep. 2 drinks in and he can't help but talk about his dick in a sexual way.
There it
Predator
is. Yes.
mindset.
Yes.
The first result on
Yes.
Google is Hassan Dog, as it should be. He means great grandmas, and we got Taylor Lorenz. Number 1 Hassan simp. Right, so then he calls out the ADL guy who torched him on TV, and he claims that he's not anti-Semitic. Hassan throws major shade at Jonathan Greenblatt and Deborah Messing. I'm not anti-Semitic. Sure you aren't, buddy.
On a platform of opposing Israeli genocide.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, fuck Israel every day. It's fuck Israel o'clock, and you don't get punished for saying fuck Israel anymore. That's all I'm saying. Look, I was number 2. I lost to Candace Owens, who is kind of whatever when it comes to Jewish people. But like, I'm not anti-Semitic, and yet Jonathan Greenblatt, that bald fuck, spent every fucking waking moment yelling about me instead of Nick Fuentes, bitch. What happened? All the Republicans you defended are now turning around and being like, maybe we should be anti-Semitic. What happened, Jonathan? That's all I'm gonna say.
Right, so Mr. I'm not anti-Semitic, but also implies that Jews should be treated as neo-Nazis and ran off the streets because they ever liked Israel at one point in their life ever, not even now.
Being a fucking rabid neo-Nazi, you shouldn't even let someone be the fucking local
It's
dog catcher.
literally, I
as
think I'm
if
losing
they've
brain
ever
cells.
exhibited
Anytime
any
Hassan
sort of
speaks, I'm losing brain
positive
cells.
feelings about the state of Israel.
The guy who backstabbed his friend, Ethan, over not supporting terrorists. That was like the disagreement they had. That, hey, I can't support terrorists because they literally want all Jays dead. It is in their charter,
The
right? That's why I
content
can't be
nuke.
supporting terrorists. And Hassan's like, that's too far, bro. That's too far. I gotta cut all ties with you. Like, everything you say and do lines up with anti-Semitism, okay? You support all the terrorist orgs who want to neck all the Jews. So nobody's buying this, buddy. You're a disgusting racist. Moving on to Hassan glazing the new mayor and saying that he'll
All right, we're gonna
help him,
skip
like, any way
ahead
he
just a
can.
little
Hassan
bit.
says he'll be buying. Then what the fuck is wrong with this guy? Why is he so aligned with Hassan here, right? Because Hassan's endorsement
Because,
is like an
yeah, I
anti-endorsement
mean,
for any
I was
human being
mainly
with a
tuning
functioning
into
brain
this.
cell,
I didn't
right?
pre-watch. I
Hassan
probably
only
should have
sort of influences
pre-watched,
his own cult,
but
and the
I would
cult
have
size
liked
is very
to get a little
limited
bit more
because his
Emiru
beliefs are so
and
extreme.
Mizkif,
The common man
but
doesn't look
I'm
at
okay.
terrorists and
I
go-
don't
and
mind it.
goes,
Hopefully
well,
you guys are
actually, they're
enjoying
doing
it.
a good
It's
thing, guys. I
it's
see their
interesting. It is
perspective, and that's why
so
Hassan will essentially never
not even
win.
interesting.
He may
It's
think he's
just
won here by having a
it's funny.
candidate he
It's funny to
likes
watch.
win
It's
a
funny to watch
mayoral
a
election
man's
in
downfall.
New York City, which is already
But you
cool
never
or
wish
whatever.
that
But I
amongst
don't think
people
this
you
is
know,
changing the
right?
course of American history or whatever.
But I
don't
don't think
this is
he's
ushering
Hassan.
in the
Hassan
utopia
has a
USSR
captured
that
audience,
Hassan,
so he's
desperately
not.
wants, right? And this is what
Hassan's got a captured audience, so he's not. He is, if anything, he is going to plateau, and everyone else is going to move away from him, and he will be able to still maintain his multi-million-dollar socialistic lifestyle.
I say that
YouTube,
Hassan
again,
is
that
not
audience
just stupid.
capture.
It's like a dangerous level
But
of stupidity.
that's what
because
everybody
he
does in the
legitimately
game.
tries to rewrite history and convince people like the USSR is
Just
like a
not
good thing
with
or
the
whatever.
topics that
Only
Hassan
fans
chooses,
would think
if that makes
Stalin was a
sense.
good guy. Anyways, if it wasn't bad enough to get endorsed by Hassan, we have the opposite end of the spectrum here, but equally brain dead. Sneeko has endorsed him multiple times in the past as well, and now he has a message. Sneeko offers a message to Zoran.
He's got a lot of radical ideas. I don't agree with defunding the police. I saw you change your mind about that. Said he's going to decriminalize prostitution. That's fucking retarded. But all I can do now, and what I've been trying to do since Mamdani started blowing up, is right after the Eric Adams stream I did in May. I got a lot of backlash for that. They said I'm an anti-Semite, I'm not blah, 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 because I am very vocally against Israel. All right, that's the one thing I do like about Mamdani. But what we can do now is try to steer him in the right direction, is try to let him know that, you know, a lot of these policies are really ambitious. And just because you get a lot of these liberals who are like really excited with the mustaches and everything, and they got the hair and whatever, don't get all gassed up too soon and try to do too much too soon. It's the greatest city in the world for a reason, and we want it to stay that way. Trump is already saying that he doesn't want to give any funding to NYC anymore just because you're in office. So pump the brakes a little bit. Try to work with the establishment. Don't fuck up like pretty much every other socialist politician.
Okay, I don't watch much Sneeko, but what the fuck happened to Sneeko? Yeah, like
In the history of the world.
Okay, you just know you're completely cooked when Sneeko and Hassan are your biggest defenders. I mean, I'm sorry,
yeah,
you
that's
have
I'm
all
like,
these retards
why is Sneeko backing the socialist guy? I thought Sneeko was an
show their
Andrew
support
Tate guy,
for
but
you.
I guess
And
he's.
correct me if I'm wrong, but did this absolute dumbass
I
just
guess
say
he's.
that?
I guess he's
endorse him
Muslim,
and
so I
support
guess
him,
that's
but I
the
don't agree with
that's
any
the
of his policies.
tying factor.
What the hell is wrong with you? Like, basically, he's like, I really don't like X and Y and Z and basically everything about him, but he had a good campaign, you know, and I'm hoping that he'll just change everything he said he would do. Like, did you actually crack your head as a kid, man? Like, this is like saying, yeah, I got Trump elected. No, I don't agree with 95% of his politics. Then what are you doing, you dumb moron? Like, like legitimately, some of these people live in fantasy land. Like, if you elect a candidate which you disagree with the policies with, then they're not just gonna magically change just for you, you absolute imbecile. He's like, we need to guide them. Like, what are you gonna do, Sneeko? Like, what the fuck? When Sneeko and Hassan are your advisors, New York City's cooked. People are gonna get real mad when the free shit they were promised doesn't appear. Sneeko is on the same level of regarded as Hamas Diddy Piker. It's crazy. It's like they're on opposite spectrums but equally regarded.
I was gonna took the words out of my mouth.
Suing Emiru and
Here we go.
Asmongold.
Here we go,
Basically,
boys.
recap, Emiru accused Mizkif of SA blackmail abuse. Now, Asmon also supported these claims. There was this whole drama with OTK and stuff, and Mizkif is now suing for defamation. Mizkif is reportedly suing Emiru, Asmongold, OTK, Mythic Talent, and King Gaming Labs.
Yes.
Right, this is happening in Austin, Texas. And we got Emily, Zach, that's Asmongold, OTK, One True King, Mythic Management, plaintiffs Matthew and Mizkif Enterprises. And yeah, lawsuit launched. Bro realizes Asmongold could literally bankrupt him. There's no way he has more cash than the Roach King. Oh yeah, if I had to make like a modest guess, I'd say Asmon is worth like 100 million, maybe more. I'd say he's on the same
north of
level as
100
XQC.
million for sure.
Just going off what Charlie revealed in his earnings, he was worth like 36 million. Just judging by as many YouTube channels as stream and like the org stuff. So I don't know. Maybe I'm completely.
And you have to think of on top of it, right? Most, like even Charlie. Charlie is Penguin Z0, Moist Critical, whatever you want to call him. You know, he's got that. He showed that his earnings was like 34 million. Okay. You can also then take that and subtract about 10% because he's investing in. He's investing in the locations that he's working on, right? He's got a big warehouse. He's got a new house. He's in Tampa, blah, blah, blah. Asmongold, in terms of living expenses, has none. Has no living expenses because he's living in the same house that his parents raised him in. And he's had to do absolutely, I mean, he could have done something, but he doesn't do anything. So I'm guessing he's probably north of 125, if not more, because he's also, I mean, he worked for the government. He worked for the IRS. He understands, I'm sure he understands how the system works. So he's putting that money back into the market. It's growing, at the what's the word I'm looking for here? Anyways, it's growing at about 7%, 7% a year, and in just terms of investments and things like that, he is. If Mizkif thinks that he can scare them away with a lawsuit, Asmongold could probably outlast him in terms of just stressing legal fees for about 5 times as long as Mizkif could, and probably even less than that because Mizkif lives in LA, which again, your standard of living or your cost of living from Austin, Texas to Los Angeles, California. Los Angeles, California is probably at a minimum 33% higher than Austin.
Off, but at least 50 million. At least. Like, that's like the minimum. Your Honor, she threw plushies at me. I guess you win. I guess you win the lawsuit immediately. I mean, those plushies look absolutely lethal. I mean, she literally predicted his every move after her stream. Attempts to gaslight his audience, saying she abuses her rabbits like she said. Files a lawsuit just like she said. Mizkif is a scumbag. To be fair, you could pretty easily predict some of these things. Obviously, he's going to file a lawsuit, right? Like, if somebody accuses you of something and you believe you didn't do it, then you're going to find a lawsuit. Or even if you did do it, you're going to do, like, a slap lawsuit or something to sort of intimidate them, get them to back down.
Yeah.
Miz is going to get cooked in Discovery. Right?
He's going to get
attorney
so cooked in Discovery.
Miz is going to lose this lawsuit hilariously. I will need to supersize my popcorn for this one. He has opened himself up to complete reputational
Hold on, Chad. I got emergency lights outside, and I've got an elderly neighbor. So let me be right back. Just real quick here. Let me do this. Let me put some music on, and I will be right back.
I'm the scat man. I'm the scat Everybody stutters one way or the other, so check out my message to you. As a matter of fact, I don't let nothing hold you back. If the scat man can do it, so can you. Everybody's saying that the scat man stutters but does and never stutter when he sings. But what you don't know, I'm gonna tell you right now that the stutter and the scat is the same thing. Yo, I'm the scat man. Where's the scat man? I'm the scat man. Why should we be pleasing any politician reasons who would try to cheat the seasons if they could? The state of the condition insults my intuition and it only makes me crazy and hard like wood. Everybody stutters one way or the other, so check out my message to you. As a matter of fact, don't let nothing hold you back. If the scat man can do it, brother, so can you. I'm the scat man.
Okie dokie. Hopefully you enjoyed that half of a Scatman John song. No, Neighbor's good. Neighbor is big chillin'. Gotta be, just gotta take care of your neighbors, take care of your community. All right, let's jump back into this. Where were we? Yes, Legal Mindset. I love Legal Mindset because of the deep dives that he does, but also because he does the drama related lawsuits, and it's a lot of fun. He's not diving into any of the Supreme Court, the heavy stuff, but he's just doing the civil suits that are going back and forth between all of these different creators.
Legal fees. Been traveling, but the review will be on my next stream.
And the strongest argument that he does have, and this is me being honest and upfront, is that there might be some breach of contract until we see the contract. Thoughts for OTK in general would be release the contract. It's going to come out as part of Discovery. It's going to come out as part of this process. He's saying that, hey, they ousted him from ownership without breach or default. And now what that is saying is he had no notice. He had no reason to know he was going to be kicked out of OTK. Well, by his own admission and by the filing of the letter, which they previously sent him, in fact, he was on notice. He already had a strike. They could have removed him for just that, but they decided not to. So this, to me, despite being his strongest possible claim, is fundamentally flawed by his own evidence, by the evidence that he's submitted himself. So saying that he's divested with no breach or notice is, in fact, countered by what he submitted. Mizkif submitted this, that he had a notice on or about November 6, 2023, that he, from OTK, there was a notice of termination and repurchase. So he was already on notice. So trying to say that he had no notice literally goes against the own evidence that he submitted. I don't understand how stupid you can be and how hilariously dumb you can be to say, hey, I had no notice except for this letter where they already put me on notice. The last one, count 3, is declaratory judgment against OTK, Mythic.
And even with that too, the funny thing is, what's up, Amelia? Welcome to the chat. We're just going over some more of the Emiru Mizkif drama, and we're diving into actual Mizkif's lawsuit against Asmongold, OTK, and Emiru. But the funny thing is with this too is, right, he got the notice, and here's the crazy thing. If you are a co-owner of a company, and let's say Mizkif has 20% and there are 4 other owners, then what that means essentially is that those owners can buy him out. Those owners can buy him out at any time, because if 80% of the shareholders of the company want something to be done, it can get done. And all they need to do, right, they gave him notice, they're letting him know, and it wasn't like it was out of the blue, and it was discussed. And again, majority owners can make those kinds of decisions.
And King, which essentially is saying, hey, look, these guys breached their agreements.
Sounds good, Amelia. Thank you.
Their
I appreciate that.
Bonds that they had over the management fees. These management fees were not owed, and these were unlawful. So that's a breach there to divest the plaintiff Mizkif of his interest in the company. So those are the 3 main claims there. So my analysis of those 3 claims is that the breach of contract is once again the strongest, but it's entirely based on the contract. The letter from OTK hurts Mizkif's case. That's going to absolutely damage him and damage his, his ability to go forward on this. Defamation is the most idiotic. Why is it the most idiotic? Because it opens up discovery. Discovery means every single email, Discord message, WhatsApp, text message, anything, Signal, whatever else is out there, all of that is going to come out against Mizkif. If you hurt the reputation of a company, they can terminate you. That's been a thing forever. That's always been a thing.
On top of that, too, if it's proof that, if there's any proof that he tried to delete or cover anything up, that's also going to come back and bite him. And that actually might bring actual legal rather than civil, assaults or what's the thing I'm looking for here? He could get a misdemeanor for tampering with evidence in a civil suit and going about it that way. So it's going to be really interesting to see that, see what happens with this whole thing.
Responded, Miz is suing Emmy and Zach. Bro, just retire Lil Pup. Damn, you ain't winning that shit. Bro could have just used the rest
I
of
should
money
be able
on
to,
himself,
Amelia.
but decided
I
to throw it
will,
all away in an unwinnable.
Like I said, once I see it, we'll go from there. And I was able to get a couple of things done and brought in, so we can hopefully settle that up.
Lawsuit. Anyone saying Mizkif will sue Asmongold and Emiru and win because Mizkif has more money, first off, doesn't get how the legal system works. And even if it did work exactly that way, one party made millions and burned all of it on expensive cars, steroids, and hair transplants, referring to Mizkif, obviously. The other party spent less than 1% of what he made on gummy worms and beef jerky. Which party you think got more money left? I feel like Asmon probably spent 0.01% of what he made, honestly. Like, that money is probably just sitting somewhere in a bank account or an investment account or something.
Yes.
If it's an
Yes,
investment
I said
account,
that earlier.
bro could be worth...
Homie Asmongold, again, $100 million. Even if he's just earning compound interest in a savings account at 3%, he's still making like $30,000 a half, or how, if it's quarterly based, if it's over the half year, he's still making a shit ton of money just by, sitting on his hands.
200 mil. I don't know. Like, I don't know how long he's been invested, because, like, that shit just doubles your money. If it's been there for, like, 5-10 years, yeah, that's reasonable. But yeah, I don't know. These are just complete guesses. Did you spend 500k on Genshin Impact? Mizkif as a humiliation fetish confirmed? I think targeting Asmon was a gigantic mistake. Mizkif is gonna get farmed in court and on YouTube. I think if he wanted to sue,
Yes,
he
he's already
probably
being
just
farmed on
sued
YouTube.
Emiru. Like he might
Hi,
have more money
that's
than
me.
Emiru. Yes, if you have a lot of money, it's very tough to sort of break through that, because you can prolong the lawsuit very long. But the thing is, if you're in the wrong, you will still basically lose.
Yes.
I guess in some cases you can override it with money, as we've sort of seen in like these high-profile cases or whatever. But yeah, who knows? Who knows where it's gonna go? Right. So here's WestJet going over the situation.
How is Mizkif suing Emiru?
Hey, look at that. That's the last video we reacted to, gang.
She claimed. The filing further alleges that Hoyt repeatedly called Riduado an aggressor and abuser during his own live streams, amplifying the accusations to millions of viewers. Riduado claims these statements are false and have caused significant harm to his reputation and career. Shortly after the livestream, OTK Media, co-founded by Riduado, sent him a termination letter citing the nature of Emiru's allegations and announced it was reclaiming more than 1 million shares of company stock without compensation. The complaint asserts that no contractual breaches occurred. Mythic Talent and King Gaming Labs also claimed.
Oh, I guess MustJet must have put out a brand new video going over all this.
For management fees. Riduado is seeking damages for reputational harm, lost earnings, and emotional distress. The exact amount of monetary damages has not been disclosed.
Full demon time.
Does he not realize that his statements are going to be used in court as well? Like, how is he going to explain this one to the judge?
But Emmy was also violent. She would throw clothes or plushies at me.
But was also violent. Homie is cooked.
Furthermore, the lawsuit seeks to shut down the notion of contractual breaches with OTK, Mythic Talent, and King Gaming Labs, with the latter two claiming to be owed a collective $896,000 USD in fees from Mizkif.
Right, so it seems like he's trying to get a complete dub here, sort of get two birds with one stone here. Now, obviously, I'm not a lawyer. I'm not going to act like I know 100% how this is going to go. But just based on that live stream and my sort of psychoanalyzing through the internet, it doesn't seem like Miz has much evidence to defend himself against the allegations here. And he also has to prove malice and defamation, which is notoriously hard. Obviously, he has to prove that Asmon and Emiru were malicious and they knew what they...
Malicious with intent. So if Asmongold goes out there and says, hey, Mizkif is doing this thing, I don't like it, and that's it, right? And it's not intentional. You know, it's like, oh, I hate Mizkif. Now that he's done this, I want to speak out about it. Then that shows intent. That's one of the other things that is really interesting about the law side of it, or at least the civil side of it.
They were doing is wrong, but did it anyways in order to take down Mizkif. Now, if I had to guess, I would think Asmon and Emiru are probably going to be fine here. The only thing that might change it is that both parties might be sort of hiding some evidence or some stuff before, because they were planning to use it in the lawsuits, and that may change the story. That may change the story entirely, but I don't know, because it's not being shown to the public. I'm not going to make like a definitive assessment here, but I really think Miz might be screwing himself over.
Asmongold has been very, very keen on keeping things, not releasing too much information. He's got a lot of insider knowledge. He, you know, when things are talked about it on the internet, he'll of course react to it. But then once that Overton window that he's, you know, talking about this situation in reaches the edge, he's like, nope, I'm not going to talk about it. If it comes out, then I'll talk about it. But he's not going to be the one to release any of that kind of stuff, if that makes sense.
Over, because, yeah, these people are not broke exactly, right? Emiru is also decently rich as well. Asmon is worth a disgusting amount of money. So yeah, regardless of who actually wins this is going to be long and arduous and super goddamn annoying. Probably take more than a year if I had to guess.
And I also think that Miz doesn't have much more to go off of, especially since the way he went live after Emiru's statements. She said, hey, he's going to do X, Y, and Z. He did it to a T. And it's one of those things where it's just going to be a slogfest of a lawsuit that he's just going to probably, I don't think he's dumb enough to bankrupt himself on this, but it's going to definitely hurt him, and I don't think he's going to be able to come back to content creation.
right? So Tectone dropped a video about it as well.
I understand why you're doing this, Miz. And you're not doing this because you're in the right. You're doing this because you're small, you're petty, you're afraid, and you're lashing out the only way you think that you can. And it's embarrassing. It really is. And it's a shame because as the most egotistical person I've ever met, you'd think you'd have some pride left, but you don't. You're just a small, small man, and everything that comes out, the hair transplant, the steroids, the begging streamers to collab and then calling them leeches just for optics. Mizkif, everything you do is to inflate your already overinflated ego to make up for your lack of self-worth because you have none. And I think this really goes to show just how embarrassing this entire situation is. And honestly, I do think you should be ashamed of what you're doing right now. You will not win. This will not end in your favor, and you are completely fucking yourself. I'd say something to Emmy and Asmund, but I'm sure they're fine. I guarantee you they don't give a fuck, because this is the most embarrassing lawsuit I've ever seen.
Okay, so it looks like Tectone is not worried at all. Maybe he knows a little more about the situation. These guys obviously know more because they were friends and shit like that, so... But also just judging by the general streamer perception, if you notice, nobody has really come out to defend Miz or speak positively about Miz. Usually, at least somebody comes out and is on your side or something like that. It seems like literally everybody just hates his guts. Now, that might be because he's just a dickhead and pissed everybody off, or that might be because they also agree that he was completely in the wrong here. He did actually do these things like SA, blackmail, abuse, or whatever, and his defending live stream obviously was horrible so far, right? But yeah, Emiru did say that he was going to actually sue her, even if it actually doesn't go anywhere, because it will just sort of clear his name to the public that, oh, he's actually fighting back. Oh, that means he isn't entirely guilty. He believes he's actually in the right. And that will at least make it look like...
And I don't know. Whenever you start throwing lawsuits around, it's one of those things where it's like, I feel like, I mean, everybody talks about it, whether you're on the left or you're on the right. Everybody, you know, everybody abuses the shit out of the civil court system in order to make them look good. And I don't think it's ever a good look when you're serving someone with papers, unless it's truly ruining your life. Again, damages, sure. This situation, that's going to be hard. You're going to be hard pressed, especially since Mizkif has a track record of making these bad decisions over and over and over again.
To his fans, even if he loses after a year from now, during this entire duration, people will be like, well, it's actually still being disputed. We can still support Mizkif. He's still a good guy because it's still being fought in court, right? And he's sort of giving himself like a fighting chance here, but it can very much go the other way, and, you know, he might lose a shit ton of money here. But I don't know, maybe he's still on those shrooms, and he's not thinking straight. Maybe he's still on the roids. Who knows? Mizkif suing Emiru is exactly what Emiru wanted him to do. She even said so in the original allegations. Now her lawyers can use the discovery process to get his phone, text, IM, Discord messages. It's what she wanted. What really surprises me the most is that Mizkif was stupid enough to fall for it. Yeah, the thing is, it's going to get very down and dirty here. I don't know if these texts are going to be leaked to the public as well. If they are, obviously, you know...
They won't be leaked to the public during the lawsuit, but the civil suit will become public once finished, and then all of that information would be able to be looked up. But I don't know if it will be the actual screenshots themselves or a piece of evidence one, and then just a text creation of what was either said or what that image consisted of or described.
Internet's gonna go absolutely nuts over this, but I would think that the most damning stuff has already been leaked so far, just to sort of convince the public and stuff. Hasbin should hire the same lawyers Johnny Depp had. Bring this full circle.
Oh, that would be funny.
Click this video or Hassan becomes mayor of the world. All right, thanks for watching. Bye bye.
That was a lot of fun, chat. I thought that was really cool. And yes, be sure to like this video on YouTube so that way Hassan doesn't become mayor of the world. And then go like more Pegasus video because we got to support that guy. But yeah, so that was a little bit more on the Mizkif Emiru